The Ugly Duckling. Once upon a time, at an old farm, a mother duck sat on her eggs. One by one, the shells began to crack, and out came 6 chirping ducklings. Peep, peep! But the biggest egg still did not hatch. "I will sit on it a while longer," said the mother duck. When the egg finally hatched, out came a strange-looking duckling, who gazed up at his worried mother. "He is my child, but not at all like the others," she said. No one wanted to play with the poor ugly duckling. He was large and clumsy, and so different from his brothers and sisters. All the animals on the farm laughed at him and teased him. At night, the ugly duckling would cry himself to sleep. One day, the duckling felt he had no choice but to fly away. He came to a pond where some wild ducks lived. "Do you know of any ducklings with gray feathers like me?" he asked. "No," they all said. "We don't know any ducklings as ugly as you." The duckling then came upon a pair of geese, who warned him not to stay at the pond. "It's dangerous here. There are men and dogs hunting." Just then, pop, pop, sounded in the air, and 2 geese fell from the sky. The frightened duckling tried to hide, but a large dog ran up to him. The dog's jaws were open, showing his sharp teeth. But just as suddenly, the dog went on his way without touching the ugly duckling. "Oh," thought the duckling, "now I am thankful I am so ugly, even a dog will not bite me." When the hunters were gone, the duckling ran off. A storm was blowing, so he sneaked inside a hut. Here he found an old woman with her beloved cat and hen. "What a prize!" the woman said when she spotted the duckling. "Now I shall have some duck eggs." But after many weeks there were no eggs. "Well, you can't lay eggs like me," said Hen. "Can you purr like a cat?" "No," said the duckling, "but I like to swim and dive." The hen and cat laughed at his foolishness. "They don't understand me either," thought the duckling. "I think I will go back out into the world," he told them. "Yes," said Hen, "do go." Back at the pond, the duckling would swim and dive each day. Still, no creatures would come near him. One fall evening he saw a flock of the most beautiful birds. He was filled with longing. "If only I could be as lovely as they," the ugly duckling sighed. Winter came, and the land was covered with snow and ice. One day, as the poor duckling tried to find food, he dropped exhausted to the ground. A kind farmer came upon him. "I'll take him home, so that my children can look after him. Poor thing, he is frozen." The duckling was showered with kindness, and in this way he survived the cold winter. By the time spring arrived, the duckling had grown so large that the farmer set him free on the pond. That is when the duckling saw himself mirrored in the water. "Goodness, how I have changed! I don't recognize myself at all." At that moment, the beautiful birds he had seen before glided onto the pond. When the duckling saw them, he realized he was one of them. They surrounded him and stroked his long neck with their beaks as a welcome. Some children came to see the birds, and one of them exclaimed, "Look at the new swan! He is the most beautiful of all." At first, the young swan was shy and could not believe his good fortune. "I never dreamed of such happiness as this when I was an ugly duckling," he said to himself. Then the young swan rustled his feathers, curved his long slender neck, and glided on the water into the bright sunlight. The end.